hesitation. Got me going crazy. Keep it moving, I'm tuned in to True North Racing. The podcast that you need if you got the need for speed. John Morrison interviewing guests in the industry. Hey, short track, stock car racing. Gotta get it hype. Saturday night under the lights. Hear the engine rooming by. Smell the gas and feel the vibe. Going into overdrive. Drop the flag, then the car zooming by. Hey, True North Racing. Let's go.
What's up, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the True North Racing Podcast, brought to you by Joe Media Promotions. My name is John Morrison. Hopefully, you guys all had a great weekend. Unfortunately, guys, this week I am riding solo once again. That's okay, because you guys get the best. Probably, I don't know if you guys actually do get the best of me or not. But anyways, hope you all had a great weekend. I'm back in the studio this week, or my room, I don't know, or my kids' room, as usual, guys. Man, what a weekend of racing! What a weekend of just a bunch of stuff going on. Where do I begin? So Friday, guys, I've been struggling with work lately, professionalism, whatever. And I decided to take a mental health day. So on Friday, I took a mental health day. And, when I decided I was going to do that, Jacqueline and I were talking, and we decided we were going to go to Oshewigan Friday night. And so of course I had to hit up the gang. I had to hit up Kaylin and Megan, and we were like, hey, you guys want to, we're going to the dirt track Friday night. You guys want to come? You guys want to meet us there? Sure. After Caitlin's wreck last week, she wasn't sure if she was going to make it or not, but well, she was. Caitlin and Dale made it out. Megan, Rick, Debbie, we all had a great time. Lots of great racing throughout the field. Gotta love cheering on our good friend Rob Twitchett. One of the cool things, actually. Woo! Sorry, guys, I'm trying to lift up my leg here. I have a little stand here because I don't sit when I do these things. I like to stand for some reason. I like to get all serious, but then my leg tenses up like it did right now, and then I start standing in. But we were there, and one of the coolest things that happened was all of a sudden I got a message from Morgan Robson Jr. and he goes, "Hey man, is that you?" Sure enough, look in the picture. Holy crap, G-Force caught me on camera. I looked like I think I was showing something to Jacqueline, but it was pretty funny. It was and we said we were. They made sure they said, hey, say hi to everyone from Madison and myself. I did. Unfortunately, Morgan, I forgot to message you back, but we all said hi back. But yeah, we had such a great time. So much great racing happened at Oshewigan on Friday night. There was the mini stocks, the thunder stocks, the crate sprints and the 360 sprints, and it was some of the guys came over to the front side for Meet the Drivers Night. Unfortunately, got there at a weird time and wasn't able to get over there, but Ashton Dickey wanted me to stop by and say hi, but Megan was over there first, and so I got myself here a Ashton Dickey hero card. You guys can pick them up from Oshewigan Speedway. Ashton, if you're listening, man, or watching, thank you so much for it. It's hanging out here in my kids' room here because my kids absolutely love hero cards. And yeah, it's that's the one cool thing I love to get. We love to get handed out hero cards because to me, that's some of the coolest things you are going to get from as a race fan is hero cards, because some of those things are so cool. And I don't know, to me it's like a little piece of something from the track and from the driver that we get to take home with us, and it's awesome. I got a bunch of them yesterday at Flamboro. I was going to show them all to you guys of who I got, but you guys are going to check it out in the Young Drivers Canadian Modified vlog this week. If anyone watches NASCAR on Fox, of the Michael Waltrip grid walk. I tried to mimic that a little bit yesterday. So here you see me. I started from the tail end of the field just as it got going. Chatted with Steve Murdoch, all the CVM guys, obviously. Realized I was done in about 2 minutes. I'm like, how am I going to make this longer? How am I going to make this more fun and more enjoyable? Kind of walking through crowds. I walked up to so many different drivers. I walked up to Cameron Thompson, Alex Stewart, Kalen Walls. I think his name was Mark McGrath. Oh man, I'm gonna have to find this real quick. But we talked to Lane Zardo, we talked to Justin Collison, we talked to, who else did we talk to? We talked to Super Stocks. Let's see if I here. Yeah, Matt McGrath. He was there, talked to him for a couple seconds. Justin Collison, Lane Zardo, Nicole Givens. I quickly talked to her. What else? And there's a few other things. A few other people. And if I'm not, and if I didn't get a chance to talk to you, I'm sorry. What else did we do? So anyways, back to Friday night. One of the things I mentioned to Ashton, he said he had a rough heat race. He did. And well, I told him, if you can't beat the show, be the show. And I think he took that a little too literally, because all of a sudden down in turns 3 and 4, caution comes out. We can't see where we're sitting. We're on the right-hand side of the flagman. And with just how the fencing is laid out at Oswego, you can't see out into the rhubarb that they have extended out in turns 3 and 4. And he was sent all the way back there by the barriers. Turns out, I think he said he had a broken. Let me bring it up here. I feel like I need to prepare a lot more on the days we're doing this podcast, because there's times I just start going on about stuff and I completely forget what was said. Let me bring it up here real quick. The U joint in the collapsible steering section sheared right in two. So unfortunately that ended his night. But oh man, we couldn't tell from where we were what happened. But hey, it's one of the things that we play with the stupid game that we love is in racing. We were obviously cheering on Cameron Thompson in the Thunderstocks. He was, I wasn't sure what was going to happen, but he never run a 50 lapper before. He went out there, did very well, ran the high side the entire time in his feature. And I'm sitting over there like, what is this man doing? What is he doing? But yeah, it was unreal. I loved every second of it. The 360 guys, they put on a hell of a show as they do each time they go out there. I think that's that's Jacqueline's favorite series. One, she loves the fact that they get pushed off to go. She loves the fact that those guys really throw dirt up in the air and into the stands. What else? I think I need to get her a 410 race, because I wonder if those guys create a little more dirt, throw a little more dirt dust around. So anyway, Saturday, we got up. I went to my first doctor. Guys, you got to hear this, okay? I haven't been to an eye doctor in about 12 years. 12 years before my mom passed. And it's, when I'm recording this, it's been 11 years since my mom passed. So it was before she even passed. So I'm going to peg it around 12 years ago. And I went there and I'm like, hi, like, my name's John. I'm here for an appointment. And, he's like, oh, nice to meet you. Da-da-da. I get through there. I figured it was going to be nothing as well. My eyes are still good. So if anyone ever questions my eyesight on something, my doctor said it's fine. My doctor said it's good. So hopefully, sorry, I know that's bad. But so my eyesight's still good. We ended up going down to Niagara Outlet Malls. Jacqueline wanted to get a new pair of Crocs for some damn reason. Try to get me to, well, I did try a pair on. I'm gonna say it out right here, right now. Look, I don't find them comfortable. I don't understand the hype. I don't understand them. Don't understand it. But it's okay. If you like Crocs, love them. Love them. Just no, not for me. Not for me. That's for damn sure. Then, of course, because we're down that way, we were tempted. Well, Jacqueline was tempted to skip going to Flamboro that night and go over to Merrittville and go watch the racing there, because they had a great card of racing going on that night. It was $2 hot dogs, some other things. I was blown away by what was going on. We tried out the new smokehouse at Merrittville Speedway. Oh my God. Whew. So what we ended up doing is we bought 2 meals. We got a Merrittville pizza, which we love, we got the meat lover one there. And then we got a brisket on a bun from the Merrittville Smokehouse at Merrittville Speedway. And holy crap. I could probably eat a whole sandwich by myself plus the whole pizza. The French fries were like fresh cut, like so good. I'm like salivating just thinking about it because it was so good. Um, so if you guys are ever down that way, make sure you guys stop off, go get yourself a pizza, go get yourself like we hit the triple yesterday. We each split a sandwich. We each split the brisket on a bun. We both split the pizza, and then we went over and got ice cream before heading up to Flamboro. Um, and then yeah, we were at Flamboro last night for the Meet the Drivers night with the CVMs and for the every division. And man, I loved it. I loved it. It was racing was great. For the most part, it was really good. From what I saw, it was very well done. The one thing I'm gonna say and gonna bring it up a little bit. I'll say this in a little bit actually, so I'm gonna pause on that part. But it was good to see a lot of people out. Good to see a good crowd out on hand. The one thing that's kind of cool, and I wasn't expecting it at all, but so yeah, like I said, I was walking around mimicking the Michael Waltrip grid walk. So I have my GoPro in my hand. I'm walking around. I have a freezy for some reason. I don't know why I had a freezy at that point. I'm walking around the freezy. I got like hero cards in my hands. I'm looking like I'm a big old kid right now because this is hysterical. So I kind of hope someone has a picture of me just walking around with like a freezy hero cards in my camera, just walking around with these guys. And I went up, talked to a bunch of different drivers, talked to a bunch of different people. They were all friendly, they're all receptive. I loved it. We need to have more like this, but next time I think I'm gonna get a GoPro mount for the top of my head, and then when I'm freehanding and I can talk, and no one sees me with it because like no one's still gonna see me, but they're still gonna see the the drivers that I'm talking to. I think that would be a lot of fun. I think I need to get on that for next year. But one of the coolest things that happened again last night was the fact that the announcer at Flamboro Speedway shouted out Joe Media, which was really cool. Because I'm not there as my own entity, as you guys know. I am at Flamboro Speedway, a part of the Canadian Vintage Modifieds. So on race day, I'm still a race fan. I'm still, but I don't do anything for my own drivers on race day. At Flamboro Speedway when the club is running. That's a stipulation of what I do. I'm gonna get a little serious. I know I just did a lot of positive talking here, but I'm gonna get a little serious here for a second, guys. To the driver, the number 65, Nikki King at Flamboro Speedway, I apologize for my comments last week. I wasn't trying to tear you down. I wasn't trying to belittle you. There was just things that made me fear for your safety on track. You did very well. I'm still thankful that you came out and enjoyed racing. And I hope you enjoyed yourself. This week, I saw a huge improvement. I got up to the fence. I watched a few laps of the mini stock race. And I kept watching that car because it was actually picking up speed. It was learning, and I loved it. Did a lot better this week, and I'm so thankful. They came back out, gave it another shot, got the car better prepared, I'm assuming. I'm so thankful that they came back out and did it again, and they did so much better this week. It was a breath of fresh air. I love seeing the improvement already within a week, and hopefully that continues going forward. We're going to do our Jomo Media driver rundown here. On Friday, David Rockwood came home 12th in his super stock race at Delaware Speedway. Cameron Thompson came home with a first and a fifth. Saturday at Flamboro Speedway, Chris Lawrence 7th and a first. And then that's the one thing I was going to talk about earlier, guys. I missed it because I went to go try to start my in-car GoPro on the 44 of Rob Twitcha this week. And I missed it. He won the race and then climbed the fence. So I'm hoping I can find some pictures of it. And because I wanted to see that in person so bad. And of course, it's the time that I was on my way down to go start a GoPro that it happened. So congratulations, Chris and Cameron, on your victories. Alex Stewart came home 8th and 11th. And Alex, don't let me forget you. You're coming on the podcast soon. I'm going to get you in the lineup. Jeff LaFlamme, who was racing at Flamboro Speedway in memory of his buddy who passed away a couple weeks ago. Unfortunately, only ran 5 laps, finished 14th, and obviously did not start the second race due to the damage. I feel so bad for that guy. He came out. All his winnings were being donated to the Lions Club, I believe, and I think something about matching it as well. That was tough for that guy. I feel bad for him. Hopefully he gets the car back out, because he's such a good guy, nice guy. Talk to him at least once or twice a week. Man. Hopefully things start turning around. In the mini stock race, Caitlin Wallace had a 4th and a 5th in her 2 features. Roland Goodfellow had a 7th and a 6th, and that's who our guest is tonight, is Roland Goodfellow. So we're going to be bringing him on here in just a little bit here once we get through this. Ricky Williger had 2 second-place finishes. Joe Arsenal had a 4th and a 6th. Scott Tinley had a 7th and a DNF after a first race wreck in feature number 2. Jay Pepin had 2 8th-place finishes. Rob Twitchett had 2 10th-place finishes in the CVMs. A new Jomo Media driver this week. Next week, we're going to have this week, we're going to have a write-up about him posted hopefully Wednesday or Thursday. But we also have a full thing, a bio here next week on the show. I really hope I get this, announce this name correctly. It's Ty Cavalin. He drives the number 7 Pro Late Model at Flamboro Speedway. He had a 4th and a 9th on Saturday. Brandon Feeney, he had a 4th and a 1st, and this is just, and that first was his first victory in a car since 2016. So congratulations, Brandon, on that one. But he came home 4th in the feature. But I feel like a win is coming for that guy soon. I don't have the CVM lineup in front of me, unfortunately, so I can't do the CVM lineup this week. Of course, guys, make sure you guys check back on Fridays, as we will have our rundown for where you guys can find our Jomo Media drivers and where they'll be racing this coming weekend on Friday at about noon on our social media channels. I got nothing else right now, guys. So why don't we jump in and get in Roland Goodfellow. So let's bring in Roland. All right, guys, this week on the True North Racing Podcast, we are sitting down with Roland Goodfellow. What do you prefer to go by, Roland or RW?
No, Roland.
Roland? Okay.
RW a while back on Facebook, just so people from school couldn't find me, but
gotcha. Just trying to be a man of mystery. I understand.
Yeah, exactly.
So how's it going, man?
Change it now. But it is going great. Just outside, enjoying the day. It was a beautiful day. A little bit of showers, but
was it raining where you were?
A little bit in Kitchener. It was on and off.
Okay. Yeah, I ended up in Bellwood a little bit earlier today, and I had nothing all day. Never had a sprinkle, nothing.
Well, it called for thunderstorms at 11 a.m., but it didn't start till like 5.
Man, that's all I want. I just want like a good thunderstorm. I want to sit outside. Well, actually, I can't sit out back right now, but I want to sit outside underneath the good covering and just watch the good thunderstorm, because those are some of the best nights. But let's talk about your racing career. Let's not talk about some gushy crap like that. We're here to
It is a racing podcast. We're not allowed to talk about rain.
Exactly, because we can't say that word, because else next week's gonna rain out. You never know. So I'm gonna bring up first of all, you are a Jomo Media driver. So first of all, I want to say thank you for being a Jomo Media driver and representing our brand, our programming and everything we try to do for racing in Ontario. First of all, how did you get started in racing?
Actually racing.
Actually racing.
I just started following local racers on Instagram and Facebook and all that, and just one day I saw a post for a car that was nearby and cheaper than all the others I've seen. Years ago, like 10 years ago, I had Flamboro rules for pure stocks printed off, and I had a car on an Accord wagon that I got off my cousin's boyfriend for like $400, but it was from Northern Ontario, and it was just way out of whack. It wouldn't pass, so I had to get rid of it. And then just how life goes. But anyways, I saw Kenny Racing on Instagram selling a Nissan Sentra for $3,000 or $3,500. which at the time I couldn't find anything for under $5,000. So I just kept looking and saw that. I asked to go look at it. Turned out he lived 4 minutes down the road from me. It's like, whoa, okay. So brought my dad along. We went and looked at it. It was a mint looking car. Mike Kenny is a good sales guy too. He had video of that car doing very well at Delaware in the garage while we're checking out the car. Like, okay, all right. Well, all right, I saved up enough. I can think I need to do it. You know, I waited so long, and it was so many times I got close to actually doing it. So I bit the bullet, and I bought the car, and then the journey began from there.
The addiction fully started at that point in time.
Yeah. I was just a fiend before then. No.
I that's the only worrisome. I feel like if I ever got behind the wheel of a car, is that like everything else would suffer because I would just be too involved in racing at that point. And I'm kind of happy doing this kind of stuff.
Yeah, you know what, man? It's honestly, I don't hang out with my friends as much because they all want to go party on Saturdays and whatnot. I'm like, nope, racing.
That's our club. Our club is the racetrack. Our music is the motor.
Yeah,
exactly. But to be fair, at the end of the night, once you roll out of there, 10, 11 o'clock, whatever time you guys roll out of there, where's the first stop you always hit? Probably a fast food joint or Tim Hortons or something. Like you're still stopping. Just as if huh?
We usually do stop at a Tim's on our way out.
Exactly. We stop at a McDonald's or Harvey's, and it feels like we just still came from a bar. You're still tired. You don't know what's on you because of all the dirt and dust at the track. Yeah. Or, you know, and then you just go get some fast food, go home and relax for the rest of the night. Exactly, man. So anyways, you started in 2021 then for your pure stock career, right?
Yep. And we had our first race June 19th. So just over a year ago was my first time ever on a racetrack.
So let's talk about that. How was that first race actually behind the wheel of a car in a field of cars?
It was pretty wicked. I can drive. Like I've driven on dirt roads and all that, and so I kind of thought I was going to do a lot better than I did. Like I totally underestimated driving a car around a racetrack, the feeling of it, 100%. So I remember going to Michael's house there, and Mike's sitting on the front step, senior. Yeah. And he just looks at me. He's like, "You have no practice or anything. You sure you want the opening night at Flamboro to be your first race? Like first time ever on the track?" I'm like, "Well, I already paid for registration and everything for that day for the crew. So yeah, we're doing it." Got there, nervous as hell. We used Michael Kenny let us use their trailer, and I can't remember if maybe RJ hauled it or if I did. No, I didn't haul it. I hauled it to Canada. So RJ probably hauled it for me. And they came to crew to make sure I was going to do all right. And then I think there were 30 cars there. So I started at the back, and don't think I was in the bottom groove for the entire race. And it was like a 40 lap race too, because we had such a good turnout. They upped it to 40 laps, and I was on the outside, the marbles the whole time, just sideways. Never got spun around, but I was just sailing around the outside. I ended up finishing 13th after starting 30th. So
hey, that's not bad.
Actually, all right.
See, yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch the race. Now I need to go back and rewatch it.
I'm not in the video much.
Oh, don't worry.
my brother. Oh, sorry. Go on.
No, go ahead, man.
My brother was coming back from Northern Ontario. He was working, and he was in Milton when the race started. So he pulled over on the side of the 401, brought up G-Force to try and watch it. And I wasn't in it very much.
Hey, but you know what though? If I'll be able to spot that car out because I know exactly which one it was. Yeah. So what is it? Let's see. We were off for a couple of weeks, and we found out that we were going to come back, and we were going to be essentially running a bunch of racing really quickly. And I don't think any of us were prepared with how quick it ended up being. How prepared were you to be running either the COVID schedule or the full Flamboro schedule last year? How were you preparing either way? Were you not prepared when they announced we were going to be going back to our normal schedule? How was your team feeling?
I was not prepared at all. I had no idea what I was walking into. I had no clue. Even the, we'll get into that later, but the whole atmosphere of at the track, totally different than what I was, not totally, but a little different from what I was thinking. But yeah, I didn't even have a trailer. I didn't own a trailer when I got the car. My first
Yeah.
race, I didn't own. I was using Michael Kenny's trailer, so I had nothing. I had to go buy all my race suit and gear and everything after I bought the car. It was, yeah. So I wasn't ready for any of it. When they said they were racing, I was just happy. I think there was only 1 or 2 races where there was no fans, and then they
It was
started
just the
letting them
one.
back. Just the one, right? And then
Just
it was
the one.
percentage, just kept
Yeah.
growing every week. And so yeah, I never really noticed because I wasn't in the pit side at all or in the racer side at all
Yeah.
prior to that. I went to a few races here and there, but yeah, mostly just on YouTube.
So now, okay, so only being at a track a handful of times, now I need to go back a little bit further. How did you end up getting the racing bug to even think about adding people on Instagram who were involved in racing? Like, how did that addiction really, like, how not addiction, because that's a really bad word to be using, but how did how did your love for motorsports really begin then?
Honestly, I very, very young. I think it just something that just clicked with me. It was NASCAR, obviously. Like my dad wasn't even like diehard NASCAR like I am. I watched it every week. Unfortunately, the rain or the races rained out tonight. But yeah, young, watched a few NASCAR races, and my dad had this little Dale Senior die cast, but it came like you could screw it into the pit box and it had the whole crew there and everything. And for whatever reason, that's a vivid memory. Like, I don't know where the thing ended up to when we moved down south. It disappeared, and that thing's probably hard to find now. I've never seen another one. So it was cool. But yeah, just that and just driving 4-wheelers around. I just love speed and just really NASCAR, watching NASCAR really got into it. So it was just doing of my own. Nobody really forced me into it. No one raced before me that I knew of until later. It turns out that my great grandfather on my father's side owned a car and had a team. I didn't even know that. They raced in Sault Ste. Marie, and I wasn't even aware until after I was already into it, because that's when my grandma brought it up. Like, oh yeah, my dad owned a car. I'm like, what? Because I'm talking about racing. So, oh no, it's dangerous. It's dangerous. Don't do it. But yeah, that's how it started. And then I would always go up north with my grandparents for the summers.
Yeah.
So I wanted to do go-karting when I was young, when we first moved to Kitchener. But I was always with my grandparents for the summer, so I could never do the go-karting. And then I just wanted it so bad for so long. And yeah, that's how that started.
Hey, nothing wrong with that, because like usually you have a bigger influence, I guess you could say, to get involved, and then to all of a sudden, essentially just start racing every week, get involved in racing, and then find out that your great grandfather, was it?
Yep.
Yeah, that he was involved in racing. He had a team. Like, now that kind of makes it a little full circle, that how you end up getting in racing at the same time, because even though you're not aware of it, it's lineage that's passed down, right?
Yeah, it was there. It's in my blood. I just didn't know it.
Well, you've definitely impressed me a few times last year, in both cars that you ran, because you did have an involvement in a wreck in one of them,
Yeah.
which unfortunately ended that car's career, and then you ended up picking up, which was, not gonna lie, kind of something a little funny for me, because you guys went out and bought a car off of Jonathan Vay.
Yes.
Which is funny because he's one of our Jomo Media drivers, and we had a sticker on the side of that car.
True. It was destined to happen.
Absolutely. It's kind of funny how even that comes full circle as well. And then you raced that thing for what, just the rest of the year then?
Yeah, the rest of the season we raced the Cavalier after that wreck with the Sentra.
Yeah. And then so
was actually pretty cool too. What happened
sorry.
with that? What happened with the car there, like getting the new car. I was pretty upset. Like, I thought it was over when I wrecked, right?
Yeah.
And that's one thing about the Michaels. They came with me to every single race.
Yeah.
Mike Senior was there at every single race. Michael only raced a handful of times and with a few different cars, and I don't even remember if he finished any of those races due to just problems with the cars.
Yeah.
Not that he was in a wreck or anything.
I think the
But
one
they were
like he
there
was.
with me crewing, right?
Yeah.
They were there for me crewing every single race all season long, and that was crazy. And when I wrecked, and I thought it was over, I was very upset. I may have shed a tear or two after the race.
Hey,
It was over.
understandable.
Lifelong dream. I just started, and then it was cars done. Cars
Yeah.
completely totaled. And then my brother, I was at work in the middle of the week, and my brother sends me a text. He says, "You're racing Saturday." I'm like, "What are you talking about, man? How? The car is mangled. There's no way you guys fix the car." And then he sends me a picture of this Cavalier. And then, so he went and bought it because I couldn't at the time. He went and bought the car. And then even Mike Senior, he says, "Yeah, if Dustin wasn't going to buy the car, I was going to buy it for you." I'm like, "What do you mean you're going to buy me a car? Are you crazy? Like, why would you buy me a car?" Right? Like, I don't know. It was just wicked. I'm very fortunate to have met them, and my brother has been #1 supporter too. He's there with me all the time now. Hoping to get him out soon. he's got a mini stock too. We're just getting it all ready. But
I was gonna say what's been going on with that car because I keep posting about it. I keep posting about it, and the next thing I show up the track, I'm kind of going do my usual walk that I do. Next thing I'm just like, all right, I guess I only brought one car out. Okay.
yeah, it's been a lot of work, that thing. It was a dirt car before, and then I guess it sat for a couple of years, and then RJ bought it.
Yeah.
And RJ Proto, and then they put an engine in it, and then that was it. And it was just sitting there with the engine in it, never been run, newly rebuilt. So Dustin wanted to get into it with me, and we're like, all right, we'll both do mini stocks, and he bought that car. So we've just been getting it buttoned up. I'll say we are hoping for this weekend, although because of being let down a few times, I won't make any promises, but we are hoping that we get out.
It's still gonna end up in my weekly post.
All right, yeah, get it done, man.
Yeah, I still gotta keep it up. Yeah, that's been heartbreaking for your brother because I've been keeping wanting to see him out there, and like I see the car, I'm like, yes, it's here, and then like I get out, I'm like, where'd he go?
Yeah,
but you know what, it's understandable when when you sometimes you think you got all the demons all checked out, and then something pops up that you didn't think about, and then it ends up snowballing from there, and sometimes it's sometimes the worst thing that can happen.
Yeah, the more we keep digging, the more we find, right?
Yeah, that's unfortunately usually the case with anything, right? It's so tough. What the heck? Oh, sorry, dude. I didn't even mean. I don't mean to stop it. I found a toonie in my pocket for some reason. Dude, I'm so bad. There's times I'm just like I was just having my hand in my pocket next time. I'm like, what is that? I'm like, oh, that's money. And then, oh, sweet, $2, sweet. It's gonna go my.
For whatever reason, that's one of the best feelings when you're in the laundry and you find like a $20 bill that was already yours, but you're like, yeah, awesome. It's like you found it on the street.
so fun fact: a coworker of mine, her husband, or sorry, my coworker's sister, her husband left $40 in his coat pocket or something like that. And when his wife was doing laundry, she found the $40 and pocketed it herself. And then that night they were all gaming together that night. And he goes, "Man, I'm so pissed. I lost $40. I don't know where it went." I'm like, it's in your wife's purse, buddy. Like,
yeah, that was my mom's rule too. Whenever she was doing laundry, if she found something in the laundry room, it's hers.
oh boy, that could be a bad thing.
Yeah.
So you ran last year. So actually, one thing I want to bring up before we talk about the mini stocks here is last year you ended up traveling up to Peterborough. Did you take a car to race that week?
Yeah, we brought the Cavalier. We actually hit 4 different tracks last year, which was cool. I wasn't registered anywhere, so I wasn't doing points or anything. But we did Flamboro mostly. I did Grand Bend. My second race ever was Grand Bend. went terrible, but we did it.
How
And
how
then
did that race go? Like why was it terrible?
oh, it was a really hot day, and there was a lot of heated people, and just I felt like the organization was kind of off. Again, we're just getting back after COVID, right?
Yeah.
Organization was off, and then just I wasn't doing well, and I got into it with one driver. The guys who finished first and second were both disqualified because they were ramming into each other after the race ended, which was actually Michael Kenny's car now that won the race. The
Really?
Nissan 240 that he has now was the car. And so him and second place got DQ'd. And yeah, it was just a giant, you know what show. So.
Yeah. Hey, you know how I get around saying that? Shit. Don't add the T.
Just no TA.
Yeah,
Silent
just go shit show.
She show.
Exactly. That way sometimes you're like, if I don't have a moderator or anything like that, I don't have a guy who hits a button and be
Yeah,
like,
no 7-second delay.
yeah, no 7-second delay, man. It's me just sitting here like,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
So yeah, we did Grand Bend and then we did Sunset once, which was awesome. I love that track. Only
Sunset
been
is
the
a
one
beautiful
time.
track.
But and then Peterborough again. I love whatever it is, just nice banking and really wide tracks. I love them. At least with the Cavalier, it worked well because it's such a momentum car, base car. You have to carry it through the corners. It doesn't just have the power to stomp on it out. So those nice wide tracks worked well for us. So yeah, Peterborough, we did go do. Didn't finish. We were doing well. I'd say honestly that easy to say, but I think that was a top 3 car. I worked my way up to 5th place after starting 12th, and we were still on the move. We got moved out of the way and then fell back a few spots. And then 2 laps after that, the center of the rim just broke. All the lug nuts were still on the car. The center of the rim just broke right off on the right front. And we went into the turn 4 wall. So that sucked. But other than that, it was awesome because we were doing very well. So they told me afterwards, I mean, everybody was saying racing rim, but whatever. And then they told me afterwards that a Volkswagen rim, I guess, works better and that Cavalier steel rims are common for braking like that, which would have been nice to know prior, but it did happen. So
Hey,
yeah, we went up there. It was fun weekend. It's awesome. The atmosphere there is crazy. It's 3 days of racing, 3 or 4 days of racing. It's so cool.
Yeah, that's an event I keep wanting to get out to, but unfortunately, it's just it's with having a couple kids. Sorry, with having kids, it just ends up being a little more difficult for me to make it
4
out there
hours
for
away
Thanksgiving.
too, right?
Yeah, it's. I'm hoping.
Yeah, my mother wasn't too happy it was on Thanksgiving weekend.
For some reason, moms just hate that. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But
sorry, we're bringing the tradition to Peterborough.
Exactly. That's all you got to do. You just got to be like, hey, it's gonna be more fun out here. But no, that's an event I do want to get out to because I think it's to me it's such a amazing track. It just, you're right, it sucks that it's so far away, and it's how do I put this, but yet it puts on some of the best racing, and I hope I can get out there. I truly do. I'm 3 or 4 years down the road now, but hey, as long as I get out there and enjoy a weekend like that, because who knows who knows when who knows how many times we'll get to experience anything, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that was really dark there for a second. Holy crap.
Well, that happens, and just racing as a whole is kind of diminishing. Like Jukasa isn't open anymore, right?
Yeah.
Like tracks are closing. You never know what's going to happen, which yeah, it does suck to say, or in your life what will happen. You gotta go experience what you can. So
absolutely. Before we continue, I gotta ask you this because I don't think I did. Did I let you know about a car show we're doing?
You did in
Okay.
Elmira
Jesus.
or
No, it's in Aaron,
right?
Aaron, yeah. Okay, I wanted to make sure I asked you that, and I don't know why I just decided to do it on the air right now, but I just wanted to ask
No,
about that and make sure
you did. No,
it's
I'd like to go. I do forget the date of it.
July 10th.
July 10th. Okay, so pretty soon.
Yeah, 2 weeks out from today.
Okay. Yeah, I'm down. Like I said, I can't say I'll be bringing the car
Hey, I mean, we
all right
got
around. Who
tons of
knows?
cars coming already. So
Yeah. So, but I'd love to go check it out. Come see your booth. You got a booth, I assume?
yeah, we're gonna have a booth. We're gonna have about 8 to 10 cars. I'm gonna talk about this more after we're done our interview, before we wrap up the show tonight. To remind everyone, to get everyone hyped for it. If you can make it out, that's obviously great, because the more people we have, the better. I find it's gonna be a lot more of a fun event if we have more people out. And we got pure stocks, mini stocks, maybe a dirt thunder car,
Awesome.
a few couple CVMs. I don't know. Well, I know a couple of those guys are coming out, so yeah, that's gonna be fun. But I wanted to make sure I asked you that, because I know I invited all the Jomo media drivers, because I just feel like it's better to invite them all.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'll make sure that Dustin and I do our best to make it there.
Yeah, just let me know if you guys are coming, and obviously, just let me know. But anyways, back to our regularly scheduled programming.
Meanwhile, back on the ranch.
So, man, I don't know what's going on up here tonight, but it's not all there. I'm going to be honest with everyone today. But anyways, so over the winter, you ended up switching out from the Cavalier and got yourself a Mustang, right?
Yep, it's a 1994 Mustang. Dustin's is a 84.
So how come you guys decided to, well, not so much for Dustin, but how come you decided to move up a division from pure stock up to mini stock? What was that decision making factor like?
A couple things. Well, first, like, again, we hang out with Michael a lot. Honestly, since we've got the mini stocks, not as much, but that was the thing too. I want to race with Michael, and I want to help him out with his car. And I feel like if we're all in the same division, we're able to help each other more. So there was that, and then also a rear-wheel drive car I wanted, because my goal is just to keep progressing. I want to get better, and then eventually I want to keep on moving up in the different series, and however long it takes, I don't know, but I know that after mini stocks, there's no more front wheel drives. And so rear wheel drive for me was a must. And also last year, like I said, about the atmosphere not being exactly what I expected. Pure stock division had a lot of drama last year, as everybody kind of knows. I stayed out of it. I wasn't on Facebook like many were, and it was a big problem. It was a big issue, and I don't really have much of an opinion on it, but it was weird for me to see, and I didn't. It was kind of, I don't want to say ruining it, but it just wasn't what I expected. It wasn't what I wanted, right? Like I had a vision in mind, and it wasn't that. It wasn't bickering on Facebook about the lowest class you can get at Flamboro. Right?
Yeah.
So,
and you know what? We don't want that negativity. Like now I'm just saying here at the podcast, I don't think we want to see that negativity.
No.
And we saw it last year, right at the end of the season, really, take its toll, because and unfortunately it just it is what it is, right?
Sponsorships because of it. Yeah, it wasn't good. Some things got real nasty. I'll say, even when I putting this out there, I'm completely over it now. But even when my first car got wrecked, and I had some crew members that were pretty heated, but I didn't go on Facebook and say anything nasty about it. But there was kind of crappy things said about me, from someone who I feel wrecked me. So I was like, what is going on? Like, this is crazy. So
all right, so here's my question. Here's I got a question before we continue here. Have you talked to the guy since? Because I know exactly who it was.
Yeah, and no, actually, I have not spoken a single word to him. That's another problem I felt with the pure stock division, is nobody went and chit-chatted with each other after anything. Like, I remember the first time I started on pole, I screwed it up. I went way too hard into turn one. I got sideways. I took out 2 cars.
Yeah.
After the race, right away, I already had it planned, but even Mike Sr. he came over. He's like, "You have a couple guys you got to go talk to." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm going right now." And I went down there. I talked to them. I apologized. I explained, first time up front, I went too hard. It's my bad. If you need help, let me know. Shake their hands. They appreciated that, right?
Yeah.
I kind of expected that back too, but some people did, uh, but I expected that more, and I didn't really see it. There wasn't the respect there, right? It was like,
All right. So, because I'm all about squashing beef. Okay. I've
Right.
called out people, not by name, because I don't feel like they need to be called out by name.
Nor will I.
But is this person, the one person that you didn't talk to, is this person in the CVMs right now?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, you know who it is.
Yeah.
I think everybody knows who it is. Which again, like honestly, I root for that guy, and I saw that car got wrecked in the second feature going in. He got pushed into the wall, and it was hard to see, especially for the Michaels, because they saw their previous car get wrecked, and he's been doing very well in that class, and it's cool to watch because I see a major change in the driving style. I'm like, all right on, man. You know what?
So
do your thing.
So I'm gonna propose something right now.
Right.
Are you at Flamboro this weekend?
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna come down. I'm gonna come get you, and you and I were gonna go for a walk, and we're gonna go talk to the guy. We're gonna squash whatever crap we had, talk about it, and let's get it over.
I've thought about that too. I just felt like it wasn't my place to go over. I didn't wreck myself.
Hey,
but yeah, that's a good idea, because although I am like, I'm not mad about it or anything, but
yeah,
it was something weird that happened, and we're at the track just about every week with each other. So he's talked to the Michaels, he's talked to my brother, but he's never talked to me.
Then I'm bringing your ass down, and we're gonna go talk to him.
Yeah, I did hear on his podcast, he said like he had an on-track incident with the Michaels, and that was a common misconception all season long. People thought it was Michael Kenny or RJ driving that car. Like,
yeah,
hi, I'm Roland Goodfellow. That's me. Like,
but
no,
like
you did not talk to the guys who you had on-track incident with. That guy's right here talking on the podcast.
But no, like I said, let's squash some beef. Let's get down there, and yeah, let's. I'd rather
I hope he gets the car fixed up and he's there next week.
Dude, I hope so too. The CVMs, I'm gonna be honest, the CVMs are probably one of the nicest groups you could ever work with, because even though we're all competing against each other, last night when Scott came back in and the races were over, every single car, pretty much every single driver, every single crew member for the most part came over and looked at his car.
Right, which is how everybody would like it to be, right?
Absolutely.
Even him saying that club atmosphere is what he wanted, and that's what we all want. But
but like,
you compete on the track and in the pits, help each other out, so that you have people to compete against.
Yep. But yeah, it sucks for him. It sucked for the wreck. But like, I seen earlier today Twitch it. One of our guys, he offered to go make the drive all the way up from like Cambridge up to Arthur to go help him out. So
nice.
Hopefully we'll see what happens. Hopefully he can get that car back out. But if he's out Saturday, like I said, we'll bring him down. We'll talk, clear the air. Hey, even if nothing's there because we're a year later, there's nothing harm in actually talking about shit.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So anyways, like I said, we moved on from the pure stocks because you didn't like the route it was going at the time, and that's understandable. And you found a home in the mini stocks so far right now. Am I correct?
Yeah. Yep. And I would like to add one more thing too.
Okay.
That wreck was probably one of the best things that happened to me with racing too. Because, well, A, you experience a wreck and then your nerves get at you and then you learn to get over it.
Yep.
And B, buying that Cavalier, and it had no power steering. And I was over driving that Nissan like crazy. And then I tried with the Cavalier, and when that thing broke loose, front wheel drive with no power steering tends to rip the wheel out of your hands when you get sideways. So I had to back off a bit, and it taught me a lot of how to race and how to drive and be more smooth. So one of the best things for me was that wreck and getting the Cavalier, because I feel like I improved a lot after that.
Yeah, that Cavalier that Jonathan Vay had, he told me it was a rocket ship. I believed him. Then when I saw you with it, I was like, all right, let's see what he can do.
Yeah,
And
it was a roller coaster of a season. I had ups and downs, but at least I had some ups. So
absolutely, that's all that matters. So yeah, now we moved into the mini stock. He got this car. Who did you buy the car off of previously?
I actually feel bad for not remembering the name
Oh,
because yeah, but it raced at Sunset, and I
okay.
apologize. But the Michaels just have a lot more, like they know everybody, right? So they found the car for me, and then we took my brother's trailer, went up there with the cash in hand, and got it from Innisfil, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah. So yeah, I do forget the name actually. Uh, Mike definitely told me the name a
Well,
while
that
back, though. I don't
now
know if I could find it.
so if anyone who's listening knows who owned the car previously, let us know so
I
we can
believe it
find.
was the number 28 at Sunset Speedway.
Oh, now I'm gonna have to do some digging.
Yeah.
Which I'm fine with. I love digging on stuff like that. Um, so yeah, so now we're racing this year. You've raced how many times this year so far?
I believe yesterday was the 6th race, maybe.
Let's see, it was nine total.
Yeah, I missed 2 and we were off 1. So yeah,
Yeah.
6.
So there we go. And how's the season? So obviously, how's the season been going overall?
Uh, I'm gonna just say the short version is good, but I am, as most racers are, I think I'm pretty hard on myself.
Yep.
So like it's only my 6th race ever in this division, and I said I don't just barely over a year, first time on a track, so it's going pretty good. I haven't wrecked, but it's just getting handling down for the car. We're not fast, and there's a lot of fast cars. That's another thing. A lot of this division at Flamboro, they are quick cars,
Oh
and
yeah.
it's hard to keep up with those guys. I know I was around Hooper and Caitlin, and even now they've kind of sped up and they get away from me. And Caitlin's doing very well. She's whatever engine she got that helped her out a
Oh,
lot.
she had a rocket ship this past weekend from just by the looks of it, she was out there and turning some
Yeah.
really good laps. And
So I can't keep up, but it was more about handling because I just at the beginning I didn't even know how to explain what the car was doing because it was just so out of whack.
it's the cold trickle effect. That's the way I like to call it for anyone who doesn't know how to handle, like how a car handling or whatever like that. I just always just call it
Yeah, cold trickle
the
effect.
cold trickle effect.
I don't know cars. Yeah, but so just through talking with people, I'd have to like break it right down to what it was doing at every moment, like put the track into sections and what it was doing in every section of the track, and explain this to people who are more experienced, figure out what it was doing. So where I thought it was loose because it was breaking loose, we were actually tight because it was tight until it snapped around. And then I
Yeah.
thought it was loose, but it's not. It's tight. So a lot of battling with handling, but I feel like it got to the point too where we weren't able to finish races past couple of weeks. Things just kept happening, whether we were black flagged or last weekend, the first feature, we had my exhaust, the muffler blew off. It was still in the car, but it blew off and I could feel rattling. And then our pressure relief line for oil came out of place and lodged itself directly into the right front caliper. So a little bit of oil was going right onto our right front brake. So the
Oh
car's
boy.
shaking and I'm going up into the wall and I think a tire's going down. So I get off the track and we see what happened. We get all that buttoned up and ready for the next feature. And then first lap, spin on the front row, me and Michael, he actually gets into the back of me through the pile up and we're both out without even completing a first lap. So that sucked. And our goal of that race was just to finish and learn because I knew something was off and I just wanted to get a line down and just just learn. That's it. And we couldn't even finish a race. So we just came back yesterday and with the same mindset. And then with 6 laps to go in the first feature, we overheat. We're spraying water all over the track. So that brought me down. I was pretty upset, not mad or anything, just feeling down. And I almost didn't want to go out for meet the drivers until I was told I had to, because we were the first race, and they start you right from there.
Yeah.
Like, all right, well, we better go. And then those kids coming up and asking to sign their flags and whatnot, and they think it's so cool. And that upped our spirits quite a bit. And then we had a Dale Lucas actually gave us pointers for air pressures and little adjustments, and it helped so much. I wasn't sliding all over the place. The car had grip and we were hooked up. Still need speed, but I was driving easier. I wasn't going as hard in the corner. I was letting up earlier, and I still matched our best time ever. So our personal best anyways. So we're learning, and that was the goal, and we accomplished that. So it is going well. Our mini stock season's going well. As when we get Dustin out there and he finishes a race, I'll be very happy. That's when it starts, is when both cars are out.
Yeah. Well, hopefully that happens soon. You guys are, you guys start marching your way to the front, because I know how tough. I mean, I've seen how tough that mini stock division is, especially at Flamboro Speedway, and it takes a lot to start with, but once you get going, you're gonna be good. So just you're definitely just gonna want to keep at it. So
yeah, for sure. You can't give up. And honestly, I see us being competitive near the front, close to the end of the season.
Yeah.
Just got to put the work in.
Absolutely. The one thing, where is it here? Sorry, I keep having to like
check your notes.
I keep having to like checking out stuff and making sure I have everything all set to go when the time is right. So what are your plans for the rest of the 2022 season?
Just try and just keep improving, honestly. Just get some consistent fast lap times. I mean, I think we did that in the second feature yesterday. So now we just want to keep working on the cars. I feel like I'd miss a race just to crew for Dustin, because he deserves it. I said he's my number one fan, and I'm his, and he's so supportive. His first race ever watching me, like in person, was actually the night I wrecked that Sentra. Oh, and he was there. He was jumping and screaming at the fence. He was just going wild, because Reese and I were going side by side for the beginning, and I stayed second place the whole race. And it was one of my best races, and he was just going wild. And then, boom.
Yeah.
and he was the one that took off running down the pits after that. But he's just my number one fan, and I can't say enough about him. Him and the Michaels have just helped me so much. So yeah, once he's out there, the plan right now is to get him out, because that's what I want to see. I would miss a race to crew for him, because he does it for me every single week. Even this weekend, we weren't expecting the Michaels to show up, and it was just him and I there. He hopped in with me. We brought the car. He was my only crew member. It was just us. So yeah, once we build on that, top 5 would be nice eventually. And I think I mean, knock on wood, I think I got Rookie of the Year hopefully locked in.
Hopefully. I think you're the only rookie anyways.
Yeah, well, that 65 is registered, but she came in late. So
yeah,
and then Dustin will be coming in late. He'll be a rookie registered. So, but I got quite a few races on them. So unless something goes drastically wrong, I think I got it today.
Yeah, absolutely. Are you planning on taking the car anywhere traveling this year?
I'd like to bring it back to its home at Sunset. Just A, because I love the track, and B, I want to try and see if I could do better than the previous owner. Just a goal I set. So I want to see if I can do that. And then we're going back to Peterborough for autumn colors at the end of the year. For sure, because I love that. I don't know if it'll go the same, completely different car, different class, but we did very well there last year. So we're excited for that. Maybe if it's I'd like to do Grand Bend, that touring series they have from the States.
Oh yeah.
Going up. I'd love to try it, but I'm also pretty committed to Flamboro right now because I'm registered, and first time I've been registered for points in a series. So I'm gonna try and stay there as much as I can.
I mean, that's understandable. You don't want to keep possibly moving around and messing up your own schedule unless you're doing the outlaw kind of stuff that some
Yeah.
other guys do. But that's completely understandable. But you know what? Hopefully, who knows? Maybe if it rains out, Flamboro calls it early enough, you can make it out.
I feel like Flamboro's the last one to do that, but yeah.
Yeah, that's
But it
one
works
thing.
out for whatever reason. The rain just works its way around Flamboro. It never goes through.
Man, I love it and I hate it.
Yes.
It has always been the case with Flamboro. I've always loved it and I've hated it. Like what is it? Remember that day we had that really bad storm?
Right.
Just a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
Me and Jacqueline were talking about like, hey, if Flamboro rains out, if they call it, we're going to Merrittville. Okay, that's our plan. We're gonna going to Flamboro. If it rains out, we're going to Merrittville. Perfect. Merrittville calls it before Flamboro does. I'm like, son of a, and of course Flamboro doesn't cancel, and we show up. And I'm like, all right, we're a little bit miserable today because we wanted to go dirt track race and not be here.
Yeah.
Well, once you get something in your mind you want to do, and then you're doing something else that you didn't want to do, but like you still have to go anyways, it's like,
yeah, just ruined your plans a little bit.
Exactly.
Yeah, whatever it is, Flamboro just, I think that's why they never call it, because they just know, no, that those clouds are going to split once they hit the track.
Dude, that's like in my hometown of Erin. I swear, I'd be looking up the clouds. I'm like, oh yes, dark clouds, thunderstorm rolling through, perfect. I could hear booms. I'm like, yes. And it like splits, goes around the town, and then closes back up. Same thing while it was soccer. While the soccer was going on, I was a ref at one point, and I would see the clouds. I'm like, yes, get to call
Get
this
to go
early.
home early.
I still get paid the same. I could work less. Perfect. Look back 5 minutes later, gone around. I'm like, son of a. Now I gotta. I'm like getting ready to call it, so I stopped worrying about it. And no matter what, it still always came back, and I'm like, just want to go home.
Yeah, that's the way she goes.
Because the nice part about it was, if you were past the 45-minute mark and you had to call it because of weather, it was like our halftime or like over past half of the game, you could call it and you still get paid the same.
Right.
So I'm like, ooh, less work, more money. Like,
yeah, that's working smart, not hard.
Exactly. So I was always hoping for rain, but like, let me get past the halfway mark. So I could get paid. I know it sounds bad, but I think that's what we all hope for, depending on what careers we're in.
Way to do it.
Exactly. So we're going to jump over and do our fan question period here. We're going to wrap up here in just a couple of minutes, but we're going to do our fan question period. As you saw earlier today, we dropped that you were going to be our guest this week. We put out there saying, if anyone's got any questions for you, drop them in the comment section below, and we will ask them to our guest that night. We do have a question on board for you. Do you want to answer it tonight?
Oh yeah, we got one. Let's do it.
And this one comes from not Connor Ross, but Rob Twitchett.
Okay.
That's a little side joke. I'll make it up afterwards. He goes, question: don't you hate having to answer fan questions when being interviewed on a podcast?
Yeah, I saw that in the comments. I don't know. I've never had to do it, so no.
So
I mean, I guess now after that question, maybe I kind of do. I don't know.
Yeah. To be fair, we've had a lot worse ones than that, but Rob is a good friend of ours, and we're trying to get him on. We're trying to line him up on the show one night to see what kind of crap we can get him into. Because that's gonna be hysterical, I think. But yeah, so anyways, Rob races the 44 CVM from time to time. Okay, so on the door it says Connor Ross, because that's who usually drives the car.
Yeah.
So whenever he's driving it, he writes "not" in green duct tape and sticks it on the on both sides of the car.
Nice.
I wish I had his hero card, because then I can actually visually show it. He actually last night,
he put that on the hero card and everything.
He instead of writing his signature, he would write "not" and then right beside Connor Ross.
That's good. I like it.
I love it. It's hysterical. But yeah, that's the kind of crap we kind of play with the CVM stuff. But yeah, that's our only question tonight, man. Unfortunately, we want to thank Rob for putting the question out there. Make sure you guys tune in every Sunday to see who our guests will be and drop your questions. If you don't want them, let me know and I won't ask the question, Rob. Jesus.
Yeah, I guess he doesn't want any coming in, eh?
I guess so. We're gonna line him up for episode 69 of the show, so that way he's happy with his number. And
yeah. Perfect.
Which is only in 4 weeks. So, oh boy, but yeah, man. We're gonna let you get going here in just a couple of seconds. But is there anyone you want to thank for getting you here? Helped you out through your racing career so far? Is there anyone you want to thank?
Yeah, for sure. Start off with the sponsors. We got Saren's Crane Rental, True North Concrete Pumping, Apex Chain Cable, Redneck Royalty Co. Hit them up. Get their website up. No, we're all rednecks at the track. Go get some merch. And J Raps for doing the car. I gotta thank my grandparents for coming to just about every race. Come watch me. Girlfriend for letting me put as much time as I do to the cars and not complaining too much. Like I said, my brother never really thought we'd have this together racing, but it's worked out well, and we're closer every week, and I love it. Michael Kenny's again came with me every single race. I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing right now without them. I wouldn't know what I know. It'd be a lot slower learning process without them. So very thankful for that. My parents coming to watch. My grandfather teaching me how to wrench, and yeah, I guess that's it.
Awesome, man. Sounds good. Well, we're not going to take a much
thank you. Thank you for this too, by the way. I really appreciate this. I love what you're doing. You have a schedule, and we're all just out here having fun, but you make it. We're all chasing a dream too. We all love to race, and being able to do this with you, it just adds to the dream. It makes it feel more real,
Absolutely, man. You know what? You reached out to me, I think, while I was in the middle of setting up my schedule for this year.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because you're going wild. I saw them pop up, new drivers every day. I'm like, I want in on that.
You know what, man? It's awesome. You reached out to me about joining Joma Media. You and your brother both have joined us this year. What else? You reached out to me I think you reached out to me asking to come on the podcast first. And I already had like a huge list going on. So I'm like, hey, like, I know it's not going to be right away, but I can put you in at the end of June. Is that good? And you're like, yeah, perfect. I'm like, awesome. Like, it gave you some time to get some seat time in the mini stock. Obviously we can talk about your pure stock.
More to talk about.
Yeah, there's always more to talk about on, man. We're going to have to bring you back on, and we're going to have to obviously bring and have more conversations.
Well, for sure.
But yeah, man, I got to thank you for reaching out to me first and asking to come on. Cause that's, that makes my job easier because I'm not chasing anyone. I find if I'm chasing people to see if they would like to come on, then it sounds weird. But if people are like, hey, can I come on? I'm like, absolutely. This is the next date. You're free.
Yeah. Yeah. Makes you feel good too.
Absolutely, man. We've had lots of great people come on. We're going to have lots of great people coming on in the future. But yeah, man, anytime you want to come back on, you're more than welcome to. We'll definitely line you back up in our schedule at some point. And yeah, man, thank you so much for coming on.
Perfect. Thank you. It was fun.
You have yourself a good night. Okay.
All right. You too. Thanks a lot, bud.
All right. Talk to you later. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right, guys. That was driver number 12, Roland Goodfellow. I keep writing RW. I guess I got to change that now back to Roland. So that way, there's no more miscommunication, as we heard at the beginning of the episode. Of course, we want to thank Roland for taking time out of his night and chatting with us for a little bit. Oh, excuse me, guys. But anyways, as I brought up in the interview, July 10th is coming up quick, you guys. We'll be part of Jesus. I forgot. Taylor. I'm so sorry. I'm getting bad here. From the Heart Local Market, Joma Media will be proud to have a booth at From the Heart Local. market. It'll be in Erin on July 10th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. We have so many drivers and cars coming out. I'm excited. If you guys are free and you guys are available that day, come on out, check it out. It is I don't know how you guys want to put it. It's an artesian market, I guess. That's how my brother put it today. You guys can find some cool little homemade crafts. Lots of cool things. It's going to be a lot of fun. We got drivers such as, who do we got coming out? I've listed a few already in our post last week, but we will have cars from J Pep and Scott Tonelli. I believe Alex Stewart's going to bring his pure stock. There's talks of Cameron. We're trying to get Cameron Thompson to come up here in his street stock. Who else we got? We got Madison Teen Kim's Mustang coming from Sunset. Oh man, Sarah from Sunset as well. She's bringing her mini stock, and there might be a cool surprise. There might be something pretty darn cool happening in the at the show. So if you're there, come check us out. We'll have drivers like Jeff LaFlemme. We'll have Joe media personalities such as Megan Mitchell will be on hand. We'll talk about the True North Racing podcast. We'll talk about our vlogs. We'll talk about other drivers. Drivers are going to have their merch on hand. So come on out, get your David Rockwood. We have, I think, our furthest guy coming, David Rockman. He's scheduled to come out, sign some autographs. But if you guys got merch, like drivers, if they have merch, bring it on out. We'll sell it. You guys can sell it, pocket the money. You know, it's booth is paid for. You just come on out, have a good time. So if you guys are looking for it, come on out. It is between Erin and Brisbane. It is on Highway 124, and it's called From the Bloom Garden Center. Or I think it's the Bloom Garden Center on Highway 124 in Erin, Ontario, where you'll find From the Heart local market every Sunday from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. You can find them. Taylor Sheen does a great job. Her and her team are amazing at this. We are so proud to be having a booth at the show and bringing so many race cars. Once they have a theme day, we're going to announce it here on the show as well, so you guys can get excited. But we are 2 weeks away from the show, so come on out, check it out, mark it in your calendars, come on out. As well, guys, Joe Media Merchant Apparel. I'm not sure if I'm going to have anything at the show. I might get a few pieces. I don't know yet. I don't know yet. But yeah, we're gonna have possibly some stickers. I'm gonna reach out to a guy tomorrow about some, see if we can get them in time. If anything, we'll have some Joe Media stickers as well as True North Racing podcast stickers for sale. What else will we have? We'll also have, like I said, drivers. We'll have essentially autograph sessions at our booth. You guys can have tours of cars and whatnot. Joe Media apparel and merch, guys. You guys can find them in our links in our bios from Epic Racewear. We are still with them currently probably for the rest of this year, and then next year we'll switch over to a new supplier. We're also looking at getting our own inventory so that you guys can order directly from this guy right here. I feel like I had something else to talk. Oh, next weekend, you guys will be able to find me at Flamboro Speedway for the last race before our 2-week break for the CVMs, which is much needed after the past couple weeks with some hard luck, hard wrecks, and a tough GoPro. It's tough on equipment apparently. Past three races, we've had a GoPro in a car, and something's gone wrong in each one. So unfortunately, that's why last week's episode didn't come out for the CVM vlog. This week's episode is going to have a little bit more interesting footage, I think. But yeah, you guys are going to catch the CVMs at Flamboro Speedway. I'll be there with them doing their media. If you guys are up by Sauble, go check out Sauble Speedway. Sunset, go check out Sunset. Peterborough, go out to Peterborough Speedway, Delaware. Runs Friday nights, Southern Ontario Speedway, Saturday nights. Go check out Merrittville, Humberstone, Brighton. If you guys are near a short track, hit it up, tag the track, show them your love, show them your support, because that's exactly why their doors are still open. And you know, there's some great racing at every short track here in Ontario. You just gotta sometimes just find it. If I'm missing a track that you guys know of, let me know so that way I can add it to our list. of tracks maybe I need to get to in the next couple years. Once again, I would like to apologize earlier for comments I made in the past episodes. I'm unapologetically myself. I don't know what else to tell you guys. Things are going to be said from my mouth that may not make sense right away, but if you guys take time and ask me, maybe I will explain it to you the best way I can, and hopefully you guys can understand as well. Hopefully next week I'll have a full crew back. Hopefully everyone's going to be on the up and up a little bit better. We'll see. But shout out to my co-hosts Megan and Caitlin. Hopefully you guys enjoyed your weekends. It was great seeing them Friday and Saturday at Flamboro, and enjoyed seeing them during the meet the drivers section at Flamboro Speedway. What else we got? That's pretty much it for me this week, guys. Next Sunday, we still have a show going on, even though it's the holiday long weekend. We'll let you guys know next Sunday who it'll be. So make sure you guys are staying tuned to our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter pages, as well as our YouTube channel. I don't know why I just said it that way, but make sure you guys stay tuned to our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter pages to keep up to date on everything with the Joe Media Group and everyone who's racing. I feel like I need to add something else, but I don't know what it is right now, and it's kind of bugging me. So I'm just gonna I'm gonna end it while I'm behind. Thank you guys for listening to the True North Racing Podcast. My name is John Morrison. Hopefully you guys enjoyed tonight's episode. Make sure you guys check out all our previous episodes right there on Anchor, Spotify, Google, and of course visuals on YouTube. That's right, we brought YouTube to the forefront this year for our program, and we have this year's section episodes up there now. We are going to do a whole upload over the winter, and we'll do a whole upload over the winter from episode 1 through 46, I think it is. 46. We'll try and get all video visuals from episode 1 through 46 over the winter. That might be a bit, but we're going to stop the show, like I said, around October, maybe November, beginning of November, maybe. We'll see. And then after that, we'll start getting all the backlog episodes up. And all those are just going to be the visuals because, well, I didn't do this before, so I didn't have to do video. But yeah, make sure you guys follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Make sure you guys check out the True North Racing Podcast on Apple, Google, Spotify, and YouTube, and as well as Anchor. My name is John Morrison. You guys are listening to the True North Racing Podcast, brought to you by Joe Media Promotions. We'll see you guys next week. Bye now.
Going into overdrive. Drop the flag, then the car zooming by. Hey, True North Racing. Let's go.